This breakfast, like many others, are often sponsored by the public sector or the private sector to make sure that these conversations continue. And today it's very kindly sponsored by the Transnet Group, and it's my great pleasure to welcome from there the Group CEO, Mr. Mr Molefe.
President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Jacob Zuma, honorable members of the Cabinet, members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. 25 years ago, on the 11th of February 1990, Nelson Mandela was released from Victor Verster prison. Later on that same day, not very far from here, in fact at the Cape Town City Hall, he addressed a crowd of over 50,000 ecstatic South Africans of all races. It was a truly momentous day in South Africa, and indeed, world history. It was our aha moment. And those iconic images of a free Mandela who'd spent the previous 27 years in prison were beamed all over the world. Last year, we celebrated 20 years of our hard-fought democracy. South Africa cast aside its oppressive chains to form a new society built on the foundations of freedom and democracy. It marked the end of apartheid rule and introduced a new order where we all worked towards a united, democratic, and prosperous society. In 1994, we seized the opportunity to write a new volume in our history. We have made much progress in building a new democracy, in reshaping our economy, and rebuilding our country. We have much to be proud of. Our society has been transformed in every imaginable area, with increased education levels, greater access to water, electricity, sanitation, and housing. The number of graduates has doubled since 1994. More than 3 million houses have been built, and more than 15 million people have benefited as a result of our government's comprehensive anti-poverty initiatives. In short, our country is unrecognizable from the place it was 20 years ago. There is, however, much more that we can do to live up to our promises. At Transnet, we take our commitment to delivery seriously. As some of us may be aware, in April 2012, with our President's unqualified support and endorsement, Transnet launched its rolling capital expenditure program, the Market Demand Strategy. It is a 312 billion capital expenditure program over 7 years. Our unprecedented program to expand and revamp South Africa's port and rail infrastructure continues to break records, with spending increasing to 33 billion rand in 1 year during the year 2013-2014. In the last 3 years, in the market demand strategy, we have spent 80 billion rand in capital expenditure. This is simply staggering. There are few other countries anywhere in the world where such investment in infrastructure is taking place in the scale that it is happening in South Africa. We at Transnet count ourselves extremely fortunate and privileged that we are part of shaping the future of our nation as we are doing. Let us therefore tackle our challenges with renewed vigor as we go forward. Let us also remember the words of Madiba on that epochal day on the 11th of February 1990, when he spoke from the balcony of the City Hall. Our march to freedom is irreversible. We must not allow fear to stand in our way. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us show no fear as we strive forward to achieve our goals. Thank you.
Our thanks there to the Group CEO of Transnet, Mr Brian Molefe, for sharing his thoughts with us as we prepare for the conversation that's going to start taking place right after this commercial break.